We are now back live and in council chambers. And the motion that's coming forward is from Councillor Kelman, seconded by Councillor Correll. The council rise and report from in camera, and that the mayor report the following outcomes from the in camera meeting. In camera session minutes of January 21st, March 26th, April 2nd, 2024 were adopted as circulated, and direction was provided to staff regarding a human resource matter. All those in favor of the motion as presented? All those opposed, and were carried. Moving next to 6.2, which is the amendment to tonight's agenda, which is moved by Councillor Kelman, seconded by Councillor Grohl, that council approve the bylaw as attached to planning. Oh, sorry, I got ahead of myself. This is 6.1. That council approve the bylaw attached to planning development 2024-039 as Exhibit A to rezone the property at 2414 Outlet Road to a site-specific Ag-12 agricultural zone to prohibit a dwelling from being constructed on the property. Any further comments or questions on this motion? I see none. I'll call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? And it is carried. Now we're on 6.2, and the motion comes forward from Councillor Maybe, seconded by Councillor Kelman, that council approve June 17th, 2024 as the committee of the whole meeting date for zoning bylaw amendment application Kehoe Development, Inc. So the motion is on the floor. I believe Councillor Correll, you had comment.
Did. I would point out, number one, that the reason that this has arisen is due to our procedural bylaw 3.04, which requires a resolution to make a change or to add meetings that change from our original schedule as of January 2024. So it begs the question, why do we need a committee of the whole meeting regarding Kehoe Marine Corporation on June 17th. Thank you.
Benner?
Through you. Staff were originally targeting this evening's meeting for the report to council or to committee of the whole. Unfortunately, we had an unexpected staff absence that taxed staffing resources within the department. So we moved it to the June 17th meeting. We could have given all of the consultation that has been done to date in terms of the community meeting, the statutory public meeting, as well as the number of pieces of written correspondence that have been received, gone straight to council with a report. However, it was felt that based on the community input that has been received, it would be beneficial to allow the public the opportunity to bring it forward on a committee of the whole agenda in the event that there are public that would like to speak to the application. That being said, if council prefers to keep it just on the council agenda for June 17th, that could be done as well. It was done by staff to allow the opportunity for public to speak because the public aren't typically allowed to speak to anything on the council agenda.
Okay. Councillor Grohl, does that explain?
It explains partly, but what would be, I guess what I'm asking is, how far are we being asked in the council meeting on June 17th? Is there going to be room for deferral of potential bylaw or amendments to the zoning bylaw, or are we up against some deadline? Thank you.
Through you, there is a deadline. So under the Planning Act, recommendation is required to be brought forward to council within 90 days of the submission of an application. 90 days, not tonight would have been 91 days. So June 17th is 105 days. That being said, that just leaves it open for appeal. The need to refund fees is no longer there, so it would leave it open to appeal. But council always has the opportunity to approve, defer, or deny an application subject to the recommendation that's being brought forward to it. So staff are bringing forward a recommendation regarding the application. It's up to council to determine how they wish to proceed.
Okay. Councillor Grohl.
Just for clarification, the 90 days in the Planning Act is, was that to bring it before council, or was that for a decision to be rendered by council?
That is for a decision to be rendered by council, failing which the applicant has the ability to appeal to the Ontario Land Tribunal.
So the applicant at this point could go to the tribunal because we have not made a decision.
That's correct.
And when will we receive the staff report? When would you consider, obviously it's a little bit challenging because of what you've mentioned. When will we receive it before the agenda comes out? That would be what, June, the Thursday before that Monday?
Thursday prior.
So
to
we'd have a
Thur-
weekend to look at that data and a weekend for the committee, for the general public to look at these documents. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Doesn't-
the-
Doesn't
so if
strike
I
me
could
as
just add to
desirable.
that.
Thank you.
All of the supporting information and all of the reports are on the website and have been
Posted.
available to the public throughout the whole process. Staff have not received any further input, comments, or questions regarding the application since the public meeting, and anything that has been posted or received is posted online. So the public has also been mailed notice that it is coming out, or that a report would be coming forward to council on June 17th. So the public is aware of the timeline and that all of the information is available online, and that public comment can be received up to the time that council makes a decision on the application.
So based on the question that you answered for Councillor Gorell, we are not obligated to have another committee of the whole for public input. We could go directly to council.
No, under the Planning Act, we have already provided two opportunities where only one statutory public meeting is required. We have had a community meeting, we have had a statutory public meeting, and we have received all of the written correspondence and posted all of the written correspondence that is received. So there's no further requirements under the Planning Act for,
So this is just another opportunity whereby we could engage public comment.
that's correct.
Okay. So I have Councillor Maybe, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you. So I similarly had that question of why are we doing another public meeting if we've already had public meetings and there has been no more correspondence? I'd rather see us put this to bed one way or the other. And, you know, we've had lots of public input. That's not been the issue. So I'm just wondering, do we really need to have the committee of the whole for this particular item and just move to the regular committee meeting or council meeting?
Madam Planner.
I would defer to council on that matter if that's council's purview to make that decision.
Okay, so the motion that remains on the floor is council approved June 17th as the committee of the whole meeting date for a zoning bylaw amendment. So if we were to turn, we would have to turn this down and then it would be on the council meeting.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm just for clarity for procedure. Go ahead. Councilor or Deputy Mayor Fode.
Sorry, I'm just absorbing here. So if we defer this or turn it down for the
If we defeat it,
defeat it, then
it goes.
it'll
on
be
the
at the council meeting, and of course that absolves the public from being involved.
Correct.
But I'm kind of the mindset the counselor maybe if we've already covered everything and there's nothing new coming through, the public's already had ample time to give their input, both public meetings and online. I don't see another reason to open it up to the public. All we're going to get is a reverberation of everybody's past opinions. I doubt anybody's changed their mind on whichever side they may be.
So the motion still remains on the floor. Does anyone want to speak to or against the motion? Go ahead, Councillor Jameson.
I'm a little confused now, I can tell you, it's fine. If we have the committee of the whole, that does allow the public to participate.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure whether with this particular file, the public is finished with what it has to say. And I just wonder if part of the rationale for having a committee of the whole meeting is for exactly that purpose.
At the end of the day, the planner has made it clear that it's at the discretion of council, whether we have this on a committee of the whole or not. The motion that remains on the floor is that we approve June 17th, 2024 as committee of the whole meeting date for the zoning bylaw amendment application for Kehoe Development Inc. Go ahead, Councillor Conlon.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you to the director. The staff report will not be available until the Thursday before the meeting. Is that correct?
That's correct. Well, it'd be posted with the agenda.
So I think that that will be more definitive and that the public will react to that one way or the other. And I think, as Counselor Jameson said, given this particular file, I think it would be better to allow the public to speak on the issue after seeing the staff report. I just think it would be better due diligence on our part to give them that last opportunity.
And as Ms. Venditti did say, that the notice was sent out that there was going to be another opportunity to speak to this at a committee of the whole, correct?
Just for clarification, it did indicate that it would be on a committee of the whole. That being said, it's still possible to say there is a summary of public input included in the report, unless you have something new to offer. Like, there's still the opportunity to try to control and the amount of time that's being given to the public, but yes.
So.
Thank you, Your Worship, through you. If council decided not to have a committee of the whole, can the mayor allow any members of the public who show up at council the ability to discuss their concerns or no?
Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Through your worship, unfortunately, in our procedural bylaw, there's nothing that mentions that.
It's just the way that we've done things all along. There's nothing. that
But-
includes it?
But a member of council would have to bring a motion to
Outside the rules of procedure.
allow the public to speak to the report.
Go
I would
ahead.
have to look further into that as well.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Cody.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm going to withdraw my indication of jumping right to a council meeting. It was indicated back then, now that I think about it, that the staff would culminate the planning meeting, the public meeting, all the emails and such, and bring it back to us with a recommendation. This is that recommendation. I agree with Councillor Kelman and Councillor Jameson. The public should be able to weigh in on this again.
Okay, so the motion remains on the floor. There's no amendments. I'm going to call the question. All those in favor that council approve June 17th, 2024 as committee, the whole meeting date for the zoning bylaw amendment application for Kehoe Development, Inc., please signify. Okay, it's unanimous. So that is carried. I think I'm good. So I'm going to skate through the next two to get through to 9:30. So the next motion is from Councillor Calman, seconded by Councillor Grell, that 3 readings and final passage be granted to bylaws 24-025 to bylaw to amend zoning bylaw number 07-079-2414 Outlet Road. And that 3 readings and final passage be granted to bylaw 24-026, being bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Corporation of the Township of Leeds and Thousand Islands at its June 3rd, 2024 special council meeting. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? All opposed? And it's carried. Next item, moved by Councillor Lackey and seconded by Councillor Kelman, that council adjourn. All those in favor? All those opposed? And we're carried. Wow,
So if it goes.
9:26. I had 4 minutes to spare.